Vivian Gornick was born into an immigrant working-class family and was raised in the Bronx. After graduating from City College in 1957, Vivian began her professional career as a staff writer for the Village Voice, where she wrote about books, culture at large, and increasingly about the burgeoning feminist movement. During these years, Vivian Gornick discovered her affinity for nonfiction writing and has since excelled in writing essays, memoirs, and literary criticism. Among her best-known works are the memoir Fierce Attachments and the essay collections The End of the Novel of Love and Unfinished Business. She has traveled widely and lived abroad as well as in the American West and Southwest, but New York is the only place in the world where she feels at home.
As thousands before me have said, for us it was City College or nothing. I enjoyed the solidarity those words invoked, but rejected the implied deprivation. From first day to last, I felt privileged to be a student at City, privileged and profoundly at home. It was not from the faculty that City drew its reputation for intellectual goodness. It was from its students. It was from us. Not that we were intellectually distinguished, we weren't, but our hungry energy vitalized the place. Most of us had been reading in bottled up silence from the age of 6 on, and City College was our great release. At City, I sat talking in a basement cafeteria until 10 or 11 at night with a half dozen others who also never wanted to go home to Brooklyn or the Bronx. And here in the cafeteria, my education took root. Here I learned that Faulkner was America, Dickens was politics, Marx was sex, that I came from a ghetto, and D.H. Lawrence was a visionary. Here my love of literature named itself, and the spiritual value of thought, sheer thought, blossomed. I discovered that people were transformed by ideas, and that intellectual conversation was immensely erotic. While we pursued the life of the mind, we felt known to ourselves and to one another. The world made sense. There was ground beneath our feet, a place in the universe to stand. City College made conscious in me inner coherence as a first value. I wrote these words some 40-odd years ago, and I was talking then about undergraduate life as I knew it at CCNY in the 1950s. Now I am proposing to write a book about that time in that place, again, as I knew it, which means that, like Montaigne, rightly or wrongly, I am going to assume that what was in me was in many others. Who were we? Where did we come from? What did we look like, trudging up Convent Avenue, sitting obediently in class, arguing madly as soon as the bell rang? We were the children of tailors, shopkeepers, factory workers, accountants, bakers, dress cutters, clerks, milkmen, bus drivers. Our shoes were scuffed, our clothes came from chain stores, our haircuts from neighborhood beauty parlors. And what did we know of the world? Nothing. At the same time, how many of us were wise beyond our years? One afternoon, during an English lit class, a number of us were buzzing about a boy sitting in the back of the room who looked nothing like us. He was slim and good-looking, his hair a work of art. And he was wearing a navy blue sweater. The wool was thin. It lay beautifully flat on his chest, and I thought he was French. The girl in front of me twisted around in her seat and whispered, "He's from Bard." The girl on my left said, "Where's that?" The girl on my right said, "What's that?" But when the teacher asked us why Isabel Archer went back to Gilbert Osmond at the end of Portrait of a Lady, and a number of students, in perfect imitation of Henry James, called out that morally speaking it was the right thing to do, it was the girl on my right who said, "She's afraid of herself." And there you had City College, unworldliness trumped by the insights of lived experience. Throughout the school's history, lived experience had held pride of place, and I dare say still does. Not so many years ago, I was told that a literary critic who had taught at two posh schools and then at City College said, at Chicago, all they wanted to know was, what's the theory? At Yale, all they wanted to know was, what's the technique? At City, all they wanted to know was, how does this relate to real life?
In you, Vivian Gornick, your alma mater has particular reason to rejoice.